I was just chatting with this bloke on Twitter, an aspiring author. He was saying how he's working on a personal finance book and he's stoked because it's going to help a lot of people. So I asked him, what's your book about? What are you offering that hasn't been offered before? Now, I asked him because I've ghostwritten a few personal finance books myself. When I was writing them, my question was always, okay, there are about 10,000 books on personal finance already available in the market. If I want to sell more copies than just the people right inside my network, my audience right now, I need to say something powerful that's not been said before on behalf of my author as their ghostwriter. I posed this question to the fellow I was talking to on Twitter, and you know what he said? He said, my story. My book is about my story of rebuilding my personal finances, climbing out of debt, and everything I did along the way. I thought, that's great. That's inspirational. That's motivational. Here's the problem with that line of thinking, which is extraordinarily common among self-help books in business, in personal development, in money, finance, in psychological issues, in mental health, in health and wellness, diet, nutrition even. The problem with sharing your success story is that it doesn't scale. The variables that were in place for you to get out of debt, to get fit, to build your extraordinary business, they do not match the situation of most readers. We know that this is an issue across the multi-billion-dollar publishing industry because it's such a common piece of feedback in negative book reviews on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and elsewhere. People say over and over and over, I was psyched by this book. I felt so inspired. And then you know what happened? I was done with the book, and I asked myself, okay, I know what to do, but how in the hell am I supposed to do it? There's a lot of information, but not insights. So yes, your success story, your lived experience does need to be in your book to demonstrate that you've got the credibility. You've been there, done that. But you don't simply want to state, here's what I did, go and do likewise. You may think you're writing for the person who's 5 to 10 years behind you, but the issue is not every person's goals are the same. If I buy a book on entrepreneurship, maybe the author built an 8-figure business. And so they're coming from a place of how to build an 8-figure business by working 12 hours a day and never seeing your kids. Well, that's not my goal. My goal is to only put in a couple hours a day. Maybe I get up early and work a little on the weekends as well. So what you did to achieve your goal doesn't work for me. You know what you need? The best tip I can give you for writing a book that's for as many people as possible is to follow the advice of the New York Times bestselling author and Dilbert comic creator Scott Adams. You know what he says in his 2015 book, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big? Systems over goals. What you want to do in your book is extract from your success story, not simply what you did and then say, go and do likewise, but show the consistent, repeatable, predictable systems that you used along the way to get where you wanted to go. So with this author of the personal finance book, what I would advise him to do is to point out the systems he used for his mindset, the systems for managing his personal energy as he rebuilt his finances so he didn't get bogged down in the details, the systems that he used to save, to invest. It's not just what you did, it's what other people reading your book can do to get those predictable results consistently. And that is where the most powerful systems come into place. If you look at all the best-selling perennial self-help books, they all do this. I can think of a couple off the top of my head. For business, for entrepreneurship, it would definitely be The E-Myth, which is about the systems mindset. It's systems thinking, how you can build processes, documentation, procedures into your small business in any industry so that you can work on your business, not just in your business. Systems, right? Yes, the author shares some of his clients' success stories, but it's about the systems. Think of How to Win Friends and Influence People, the book that started it all. The reason why that thing has sold millions upon millions of copies is because it's about systems of how to be a warm personality that people also respect. It's systems that worked in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and will probably work in the 2030s, 40s, 50s. So think about the timeless systems that you can build into your book that anyone can use to get those consistent, predictable results. That's what separates books that are, oh, gee, I feel so motivated, to the books that now I can go and do something. My specialty as a ghostwriter is to produce books that open the opportunity for the reader to engage with you beyond the pages of your book. And in order to over-deliver value inside of the book, blow people away and say, there's so much good stuff here, but I feel like I need more help to implement the systems in my life and make sure I'm doing it right, I'm going to get on the author's email list. I'm going to join their webinar. Oh, I might even end up in their masterclass. Or if I've got the budget, hiring them for their $5,000 a month retainer fee. If you look at my channel, you'll see I have a track record of helping authors turn a $15 paperback book into something that produces $100,000, $500,000, even $1 million in revenue directly from their book. And it's because we build systems right into the table of contents. So we get people motivated by their incredible success stories. They come for the story, they stay for the system, and they stay with you long after the book is done. So that would be my advice to you. Take your story, spin them into a system. Don't say, do what I did, but more so say, here's what you can do in any situation to get those consistent, predictable results. Do that, and you, my friend, will write one hell of a book.